Hello, my friends. Today we are going to be discussing narrative tenses. When we say narrative tenses, we think of stories like once upon a time in Transylvania there lived a Dracula. It can be a nice start of story, but I cannot tell the whole story to you now because we are going to learn about tenses that we use in telling stories. And we use 4 tenses. The basic one, the most common one, is simple past tense. And then we use past continuous tense. Then we use past perfect and past perfect continuous. 4 tenses are there for narration, telling a story. And if I want to remind you the little about structure of this tense, simple past tense, you know, the most common feature is did. Generally, subject plus verb to past form of the verb and plus object is the simplest way. For example, I ate a banana in the morning. So this is ate, eat, ate. Then past continuous, the most common feature is was and were. These are the auxiliaries we use. The formula for this tense is subject plus was or were plus verb with ing. I was sleeping when you came. Okay. And past perfect tense, the common feature of this tense is had. Formula is subject plus had, then past participle, or shortly we say V3, verb 3. And past perfect continuous is similar, but we use had plus been. Like subject plus had been and ing. So this is the structure of the 4 tenses. Now we will move on to usage of these tenses. First let me clear the page, then move downward. Okay, yeah. First, we are going to compare past simple and past continuous tense. Past simple is used for the events that totally finished, but we are not focusing on the duration of that event. For example, I went to cinema yesterday. Leonard, this is completely finished. We can use with time expressions that shows past, like yesterday, last year, last night. And we use it with finished actions that as a general knowledge we know it was in the past. For example, Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa, that we know it's a past event. Leonardo is already dead. Okay? So it's in the past, even we don't mention any time phrase. And next, we use it with finished actions, states, or habits in the past that we have introduced with present perfect or another tense. It is like giving details of an event. I've been on holiday. Where have you been? I haven't seen you for 3 days or 3 weeks. I have been on holiday. I went to Spain and Portugal, right? So it is like giving details of an event that you have introduced with present perfect. And for stories or list of events, we often use the past simple for the actions in the story and past continuous for the background. These 2 uses are same. We will come back there and see. He went to a cafe. People were chatting and music was playing. He sat down and ordered a coffee. So it is like giving the background information for an event in simple past tense. And sorry, something is going wrong. Then the last thing, it is not a very common thing. Generally, we use it for conditional tenses. That for imaginary things in present or dreams that you have. For example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a house. But did I win? No. Okay. So let's have a look at the past continuous tense on the other hand. An action in the past which overlaps another action or a time, right? At 3 o'clock I was working. So what time I was working? 3 o'clock. Did I start before? Yes. Did I finish at 3? No, I continued afterwards. And in the same as this here for this too, when we are presenting a story, we use past continuous tense as the background information. The birds were singing, the sun was shining, and the cafe's people were laughing and chatting. Amy sat down and took out her phone to see her status on Instagram. Wow. Okay. And temporary habits, especially when they were annoying in the past, we can use past continuous tense. He was always leaving the tap running, and she was constantly singing. If that means we can feel a little bit complain of these actions. And the last one, to emphasize that something lasted for a while. How? I was working in the garden all day. This is important. We use all day, all evening, for hours, for many hours. He was reading all evening. This is the use of present, past simple and past continuous tenses. And we will continue with past perfect and past continuous tense. This had past participle and this had been verb ing. A finished action before a second action in the past. How? When we arrived, that is simple past as you can see, the film had started. So we reached there after the film started. So to emphasize that, we use present past simple and past perfect tense together. Or for clarifications, I had eaten dinner, so I wasn't hungry. So before he was hungry, he had already eaten dinner, so when he was offered food, he rejected. Or if it is clear which action happened first, because with the phrases like before or after, we may skip using past perfect tense and we directly use simple past tense. And something started in the past and continued up to certain time, especially when it is a stative verb, we cannot use continuous tenses with stative verbs, so we use like this. On the 20th of July, I had worked here for 3 months. And the last one, sorry, something going wrong here. To talk about unreal imaginary things in the past, or regrets and wishes for the past. If I had known you were ill, I would have visited you, but I didn't know you were ill. And past perfect continuous also like present perfect tense, but it focuses more on duration of the events, but that is in the past. So I think for today that's enough. We will be discussing these further on Zoom meeting. For now, goodbye. Thank you.